She spent her whole life putting others first and felt invisible by 50. Then, in one moment, everything changed.
At 50, Linda thought her best years were over. Her kids were grown, her husband was busy with work, and each morning she woke up feeling invisible. She had done everything right, married young, raised a family, stayed in the background like she was supposed to, but now it felt like the world had moved on without her. One night she whispered to herself, "Is this it? Is this all I get?" Her voice barely louder than the running water. Linda lay in bed, scrolling through her phone. She stopped on a video of an older woman, 72 years old, hiking to the top of a mountain. The woman was laughing. She looked free. The caption read, "It's never too late to become who you were meant to be." Linda sat up in bed. Something inside her clicked. If she can do that at 72, what's stopping me at 50? Linda said aloud, almost surprised at her own voice. The next morning, Linda walked into the kitchen. Her husband sat at the table reading the paper, drinking his coffee. She took a breath. "I think I want to learn how to paint," she said, her voice unsure but hopeful. He looked up from his paper and blinked. "Well, okay. Do whatever makes you happy," he said, then went back to reading. It wasn't permission, but for the first time, she realized she didn't need any. That weekend, she found an old easel in the garage, set it up in the guest room. She stared at the blank canvas for a long time. The brush trembled in her hand. The voice in her head said, "You'll look foolish." But another voice, quieter, whispered, "So what?" On a quiet Tuesday afternoon, Linda dipped the brush in yellow paint. She painted a crooked sunflower. It wasn't perfect, but it felt freeing. The next day, she painted another, and another after that. Each brushstroke made her feel a little less invisible. A month later, Linda joined a local art class. She didn't talk much at first, just listened, learned, watched the others. Over time, she began to laugh with them, share stories, ask questions. One woman leaned over one afternoon and said, "Linda, have you painted before?" "No," Linda said, smiling shyly. "I just started, but I think I was waiting my whole life." 1 year later, Linda's house was filled with canvases, sunsets, gardens, people she imagined but had never met. She set up a small stall at the local farmer's market, just for fun. She sold her first painting that day. It wasn't about the money. It was the first time someone truly saw her. A little girl picked up one of her paintings, a soft field of yellow flowers. "It looks happy," the girl said, smiling up at Linda. Linda looked down, heart full, and said, "So do I." One evening, her daughter called in tears. "Mom, I don't know who I am anymore," she sobbed through the phone. "I feel like I'm falling apart." Linda listened quietly. Then she said, "It's okay, honey. Sometimes you don't find yourself until later. I didn't find me until I was 50. There was silence. "Really?" her daughter asked. "Yes," Linda said softly, "and it was the best thing I ever did." Linda no longer apologized for taking up space. Her guest room was now her art studio. Her hands were almost always stained with color, and her heart, it was finally full. It's never too late to become who you were always meant to be. Sometimes the second half of life is where the real story begins. Linda didn't find herself in her 20s or her 30s. She found herself at 50, and that changed everything.
Oh my gosh, did that one connect with you? Tell us how it did in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories just like this one.